Well, here you go, everyone. Josh the Collector Guy. Hope you all had an awesome week this week, ladies and gentlemen. As I always say, hope you're able to find some awesome cars for your collections. Whether you've ticked a holy grail off the list, found some vintage carded Hot Wheels or some loose ones or whatever. Hope you found some awesome stuff. Hope you had an awesome week. Well, got plenty of stuff to share with you this week, ladies and gentlemen. Got some various years of Hot Wheels just here, still on their original card, ranging from the early 80s right up to the very late 80s, and yes, they're all Chevys as well. Looking forward to sharing those with you just in a sec. Got another one of these beautiful Hot Wheels Flying Colours cars on card. Absolutely adore this particular variation of card Hot Wheels did. Such a bright and colourful card. It's the old Buzz Off. Got my second one for the collection. As you can see, there's a few differences between the two. I'll jabber on about that very soon. Some loose ones just here, and just some other ones here as well, what I'm going to compare variations to these ones over here. But first up, we'll start off with these ones just here. Went to an old antique fair just yesterday. Didn't find too much, only found these two things. This old BMW here with the gold Ultra Hots. Takes me back to when I was a kid. I love those old wheels, and I'm pretty sure she might have come on a card what had gold medal speed, like in a little ribbon or something like that. If that makes any sense to you all out there. Love those wheels. One of my favourite wheels, Hot Wheels I've ever made, because it does remind me from when I was a kid. Really nice BMW as well. Don't think I had this one in the collection. It was worth $2 I paid, I assure you that. Pretty cool car as well. And another American coin for the collection, this old JFK $half. It's from the Denver Mint. It was made in 1972, and I checked my coin guide, what I've done up for myself, recorded all the coins I have in the collection, and checked under the JFK $half, and what do you know, I didn't have a 1972 one with the Denver Mint mark, so I was pretty happy with that. It was worth the $3 gamble, I assure you that. Love the old Kennedy $half. Probably my favourite coin in the USA coins. Or USA currency, I should say. Really nice. Love that eagle design there and everything. And my sole flea market find for the week, but I'm still pretty happy with it. We went with Dad as always, as we always do every Sunday morning, to the good old flea markets. Picked up a Yapming. I think I've barely got 3 Yapmings in the collection. I do see them now and again, but don't really buy them because they're not really in my collecting forte. You could say they're still pretty cool nevertheless, but I always stick to my Hot Wheels and that. But I just had to have this particular one because it's an old Porsche 910. Actually thought it was a 917 at first, because the 917 did have these wings on it. On the Pink Pig did have it, and also the Martini version as well, and I think there might have been another couple as well, but those are the only two I remember. This one's got the Golf Tampo, and I looked up the Porsche 910 and with the Golf design, and none of them seemed to have these wings, so I thought that was a bit unusual, but still a pretty awesome little car. I love the old Porsche race cars. The 917 will always be my favourite, but I found another car I shall keep an eye out for, the old 910. Such a pretty car, and I think she was a little bit more earlier in the production than the 917s. And a bit unfortunate the back bumper's gone, but she was worth $1 to me. I'm pretty happy with that, and I love the old Golf Tampo on it. Really nice. I'm very happy with that. My sole flea market find for the week. Moving on now to these French-American Victories, another race car I particularly love. And would you believe these French Hot Wheels came all the way from Germany? What do you know? Obviously the Germans got the French Hot Wheels as well. This one here has got the old, you could say, pinky red sort of paint colour on it. There is a more of a magenta paint scheme one, which is made in France. I think the mainline one sort of had the same sort of colour on it, but there is a French one with pretty much the exact sort of same design and tampos on it as well. As you can see from this one here, it does look like the mainline one, but underneath, as you can see, it says made in France, so that is pretty cool. Glad they did put made in France on, I would say, most of the old Hot Wheels from back in the day, because you'll probably be finding sellers these days making up stuff like like a Hong Kong car's made in France, for example, stuff like that. So it's a good thing they did that. Love these old American Victories, as you all probably know and hear me jabber on every time I pick up an American Victory. It's based on a McLaren Can-Am car. So that one's very cool indeed. And got the old light blue version here with the dark blue tampo. This one's a beautiful one as well. As you can see, it's got France just there as well. But no Hot Wheels underneath. That's quite puzzling why they do that. Maybe their budget didn't let them put Hot Wheels underneath, just tried to make it really nice and basic. Reminds me of how the Speed Machine's base one sort of is. It doesn't have Hot Wheels on it, but have seen these two in my Tom Mart's price guide book and always had my eye on them and never would thought I'd ever find them as well, but very glad I have because they're very beautiful cars. I do adore my French stuff. Usually probably the French, Indian, Mexican stuff always gets forgotten about, but I do love finding it, and ever since I found out about the French, Indian, Mexican stuff, I've always wanted to have some from each country in the collection. As you probably all know, I do have a few in the collection, and all you guys and girls out there as well probably strive to have them as well. They definitely are worth having in the collection because it's great to see like the differences in the casting, paint and everything from the cars from each different part of the world where Hot Wheels was made, whether it be Hong Kong, USA, France, India, you name it. It's always awesome to get stuff from different countries to compare the two or even see how they were made in different countries. But very happy with those. I love finding my French stuff, always get them when I can. Moving on now to the carded lot of Hot Wheels just here. As you can all see, they're all Chevys, which I absolutely love. I'm probably the biggest Chevy nut in my part of Australia. Got these old Chevy S10s, have always had my eye on these, could never find them for a good price. Always seen a few on eBay, I think around the $30 or $40 mark, and that's in Australian dollars. I think that's absolutely ridiculous because I don't think they're worth that much. Maybe the carded Real Rider version, but certainly not the Blackwall one. But managed to find these for pretty much just over $10 each. I'm pretty happy with that. And as you can see on this one, it's got the small Blackwall wheels and facing to the left on this particular card. It's got the American card, the cargo carrier. Got something like that. Remember that from when I was little. That's very cool. That's in one of my cupboards as well. And this one, as you can see, the variation's got the international writing. It would have been the international version, well, release you could say, and it's got the large Blackwall wheels. Don't think I've seen a large Blackwall wheel variation of this one anywhere before. I don't think it's even listed in my price guide book, so I'm very happy with that. As you can see, the two variations there, and as you can see, she's facing that way. So with me loving my variations, that is certainly a must-have for the collection. And there's even a variation in the blister as well. There's plenty of variations on each truck, and that's really awesome. I love the variations, as everyone knows, and I'm very nutty with them as well. Got the old Hong Kong Corvette Stingray here, probably my most favourite Corvette Hot Wheels have made. Absolutely adore this particular one. On the Hot Ones card, probably you could say the mid-80s released one, maybe. We'll have a look on the back, maybe 83 you should say. And got her mighty cousin on the back here, the old Camaro. That one's an awesome casting as well. Glad to have that one in the collection. The almighty Corvette. Love the paint scheme on this one. Glad to get the Hong Kong variation because I have the carded Malaysia version in the collection. And got more variations of the Corvette High-Raker just here. We'll have a look at the grey one first. As you can see, she's got a large Blackwall wheel at the back there. Haven't seen too many of that. Well, haven't seen too many with a large, if not none at all, with a large Blackwall wheel on the back. I do have the black Real Rider version of this Corvette with a grey hub with a large Real Rider at the back, and I don't think they're all that common either. So, as I said, with my variations, I'm very happy with that. Love the paint scheme on this one as well, with the Corvette and the Corvette emblem on the top. And this one's the enamel yellow one with the High-Raker paint scheme. Even there's a card variation between the two there. And this one I've had in the collection for a while, and it's the metallic yellow variation. So 3 different variations of the 60, well, the split window 63 on the High Rakers card, so I'm very happy with that. Awesome to see how many actually came out on the High Rakers card, and I would imagine there would be a couple more as well. So very, very happy with those. Love the old High Rakers. We'll have a look on the back as well. The old Vet Van Turbo Wedge, the Dodge D50, the 3-window 34, the mighty Corvette there, and the 40s Woody. They're pretty awesome, all the High Rakers they did. Certainly worth adding to any Hot Wheel collection. Got another Hot Ones here, and it's the mighty Z28 Camaro, and this one I've always wanted to have carded because I've had a loose for a very long time. Like this particular one, I think she was the first release for the Z28 as well, and it's on the much earlier Hot Ones card. As you can see, the mighty Porsche there, and I think that's the front running Fairmont or something. I could be wrong. That one's awesome, love that. Have a look on the back, the old service centre. Really awesome, love to have one of those sets. So I'm very glad to have this one in the collection. I've always wanted it. You can tick that one off the list as well. Love that card art, as I always say. It's always awesome seeing the old card variations on the old cars. And another mighty 57 Chevy for the collection. I shall bring the other one over to compare the two. As you can see, not only is it a different card variation, but there's different tampo as well. This one's got the 57 Chevy tampo on it, whereas that one has been taken off, and they're both just as hard as to find with or without, in my opinion. Haven't seen too many at all floating around. I'm very glad to add these two to the, well, this one to the collection now. Her little cousin's got a friend now, so very awesome to have 2 different variations of them. And as everyone knows, I love my 57 Chevys, and my Chevys in general. And what do you know, the blisters are different variations as well. So they're really, really awesome. Glad to have them, I should say, not them. Moving on now to the Redlines, the last things I'll show for today. Got the old mighty custom Camaro here, and surprisingly no one else bid on her on eBay as well, which I'm quite puzzled at. We'll have a look at her base. She's a USA base, and as you can see, she's got the tabs there, which are these little dashes, you could say, in the sort of the corners on the casting. A lot of the earlier versions did have them. Much later versions were removed, and there's also, I think on the Hong Kong variation, there's like the kidney bean base. There's so many different variations with the custom Camaro. And on the back as well, she's got the painted tail, so that's a win-win in my situation. Well, it's a triple win. USA base, tab base, and painted tail. I'm very happy with that. I think that's my 3rd different variation for the blue custom Camaro, and I think roughly my 14th different variation of the custom Camaro in general what I have in the collection. So I'm very proud of that. I love my mighty custom Camaros. Something I'd never think I'd have 14 of, that's for sure. Because the custom Camaros are quite hard to get, as a lot of you probably do know. So very happy with that. And last but not least, the carded Buzz-Off. Now I absolutely adore these old Flying Colours cards. Love the paint scheme on it with the old Porsche 917, the mighty heavy Chevy, which never came out in enamel blue, and the old Barja Bruiser up the back there. Love that paint scheme. This one I have had, the old Buzz-Off, in the collection for a very long time now. She's much later release from 1975. She's got the normal sized card, you could say. She's got the black plastic base and a much darker blue, whereas this one was the 1974 release. Much earlier than this one, three or so years before. Well, a couple of years before anyway. I can jabber on about it. As you can see, the blue's a little bit lighter. She's got a metal base, and the card is unusually a little bit bigger as well. Maybe they were playing around with the card sizes to see what would suit. Well, see what would go better. But as you can see, in the end, it went with the old normal size card. What the Hot Wheels cars pretty much have today, you could say, the same size. So it's pretty cool seeing that there was another card variation once upon a time as well. And another variation on it, Porsche's disappeared on the much later version, which I think is a bit unusual. We'll have a look on the back, only a few cars on the back there. 1973, so it'd mean 1974. We'll have a look at this one as well. A lot more cars you can see on the back there. So very happy with another variation. As I said, one of my favourite cards, if not my most favourite card Hot Wheels have ever produced, because I love flying colours. Certainly matches the name indeed. Love all the colours in that card. Very beautiful, and I love finding my carded and loose Redlines. Well, that leads us to the end of the video this week, ladies and gentlemen. Really hope you did enjoy. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week, whether it be a subscriber or you're just passing by. Thank you for all the views, the kind comments, the likes, and the subscriptions. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's it for this week's video, everyone. Really hope you did enjoy. And remember, as always, everyone, happy hunting. Keep the hobby strong. See you later, everyone. Have an awesome week.